It was only a matter of time before the Raptors pull the trigger. It's taken forever, but finally, we can move on. Pascal Siakam has officially been traded to the Indiana Pacers in exchange for Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, and 3 first-round picks. And in the side thing, I think the Pacers got a second-round pick from the Pelicans, and the Raptors get Kira Lewis Jr., who's no good, useless, kind of not great. So that doesn't mean anything. But let me quickly break down this trade, and then we talk Pascal Siakam. Okay? What is Bruce Brown going to give you? Well, he's not great. Right? He's averaging 12 a game. I'm not even going to look at the stats. He's making $20 million. He has a team option at the end of the year, so the Raptors can just opt out and then see you later. Or they could deal him at the deadline or before the deadline kind of thing. Use it as another asset to move around. Or they could keep him, depending on maybe things vibe. Who knows? Jordan Nwora? Yeah, he's no good. Yeah, he's played 18 games this year, basically garbage time, 10 minutes a game. Averages 5, whatever. He's 25 years old now. Really nothing to him. Whatever. And the 3 first-round picks, which is obviously the biggest part of this trade for the Toronto Raptors, it is the Pacers' 2024 first-round pick. Okay? The worst pick out of Houston, OKC, Utah, or the Clippers. So it's going to be either, in my opinion, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Clippers. Those 2 teams are great. So that pick's not going to be great. It's going to be in the late 20s, which kind of sucks. And then the Indiana Pacers 2026 round pick, because you're not allowed to trade back-to-back years. So they trade the 2026 pick. And that's it. I was really hoping the Raptors could find a way to get a Benedict Mathurin, one of their younger players, right? Because you thought maybe they could have another, couple young players to add to this mix that they have going on with Quickley and RJ Barrett. Well, that now doesn't happen. And so now I'm a little confused about what we're doing here. Because you traded the first round pick of this year's draft, your own pick, to acquire Jakob Poeltl last year because this year's draft is no good. And then you trade Pascal Siakam and you get 2 more first-round picks, which are going to be significantly worse than your own pick for this year. That's not a great draft. Now, albeit, there are going to be good players in the draft. There will be guys coming out of the draft that are better than a lot of people expected. Obviously. That's just every NBA draft is like that. Every draft is like that in sports. However, these aren't great picks. Indiana now with Pascal, Pacer fans, you're going to love him. He's not going to be your number 1 option. The spacing on the floor is going to be incredible for the Indiana Pacers. So Pascal's going to be able to be free roam and do his thing. He's not going to get doubled like he did all the time here in Toronto. It's just not going to be the case. So for the Pacers, the trade is fantastic. For the Raptors, I was hoping for a little bit more, but that ship probably sailed last year at the deadline or in the offseason when you didn't make the deal. Obviously, they're basically trading for a possible rental player. And look at Raptors, we're not going to pay him. They were not going to pay him, and that was well known around the NBA. Maybe that's another reason why it wasn't as much coming back. Because you were not going to pay Pascal Siakam the max money. Especially with this core, the way they are now with Scotty OG. Got to get used to not saying those names anymore. Scotty, Quickley, and RJ Barrett. They're all 24 years younger. So you weren't going to give a Pascal a max contract when Quickley needs a new deal. Scotty needs a new deal, right? You're going to start needing to do those contracts. So you weren't going to pay him. You had to trade him. And this must have been the best trade in this moment. Do I think the Raptors got great value? No, but you weren't going to get great value on a January trade in a contract year for Pascal. Now, in hindsight, down the road, could this look like a great trade if one of those draft picks hit for the Raptors, or if they move those picks to get a great... I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But in this moment right now, a little underwhelming. But again, we knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. The Band-Aid has finally been ripped off. And now we got to move on. Before we do that, we got to reminisce a bit. Because I don't care what people thought about Pascal Siakam. For my God, if the fans had their way, he would have been traded in the bubble. That's just what it would have been. He was no good in the bubble. He was no good in Tampa. But Pascal Siakam, if you look at the all-time Raptor ranks, he is slapped all over the top 5 list. You know why? Because he's a damn good player. Behind guys like DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, I think I saw a couple on there. Vince Carter, JV was up there as well for longer tenure Raptors. Pascal Siakam won a championship with this team, and that's where I'm going next. You draft this guy 27th overall. He wins you a G League, or I guess at that point it was a D League championship. He wins Finals MVP in the D League. Then he's part of the famous bench mob. Then in 2019, he's the co-star with Kawhi Leonard. They make it all the way to the finals. And in game 1 of the NBA Finals, drops 32 in a win. Then in game 6, we all know what I'm going to talk about. Gets by Draymond Green, who just won Defensive Player of the year before, and floats it up and in for basically the game-winning bucket. So I understand, and he won Most Improved Player that year as well. I understand how fans are all, what have you done for me recently? Yes, I'm totally with that. The dude brought a championship to this team, this city. I've never seen a championship in my city before that season. Whoa, where are we there? Whoa, right there. I've never seen it. And him being the co-star with Kawhi Leonard brought it here. And as much as the years after that were a little shaky, obviously 1920 before the pandemic hit was great. We all know how that was going. But basically every time after that, people just wanted him traded. People wanted him gone. People wanted that gone. See ya. But they finally got their wish. And what does this mean for the Raptors moving forward? I got no clue. I have no clue. Because I would love for this team to get into the play-in. And yeah, you'll lose your first round pick this year. But fine. We keep hearing about how it's a bad draft. Well, then at least you have your pick the following year in a much better draft. Whereas if you keep your pick this year in this bad draft, that pick defers to next year, and we'll be having the same conversation next season. So you get these picks, great. Yeah, they're late first rounders, kind of stinks. But if you find a way to get in the play-in, get out of that 6 hole, because for the love of God, Raptor fans, even if you're in you come 5th last or 6th last, the lottery balls could go the wrong way, and you can you can hop out and go to 7th overall. And then you still lose your pick. And it's a top 10 pick, right? So the best case scenario is somehow, some way, this Raptor team makes it in the play-in. You rip the Band-Aid off. You lose your first round pick this year. Hopefully it's not insanely good. And then we wait. We keep waiting. Because for the Toronto Raptors, we're going to be seeing Scotty. A lot of people hammering, get Scotty the ball more. Well, you're going to get that wish. Starting tonight against the Miami Heat. So we'll see how it goes. But Raptor fans, Pascal Siakam's tenure, in my opinion, has been very, what's the right word to use? He was unappreciated, I think. Because yes, the championship and Spicy P and all that stuff. But like I mentioned, almost every year after that, it's all about trade Pascal, get rid of this guy, he's useless, trade him. So, and you look at all the stats and he's top 5 in basically Raptors history in almost a lot of categories. So, very underappreciated. But from Raptor fans who know basketball, he was well loved by Raptor fans and will be missed. But now begins the new regime of the Toronto Raptors. The only guy left in that championship roster, or I guess organization, is Chris Boucher, but he never suited up for the Raptors in that championship run. So it's a new team. New vibes, no 2019 chip, nothing. You're moving forward now. Let's see what happens. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, and give me your fondest Spicy P moment. Let me know in the comments below your favorite moment from Pascal Siakam. I expect a lot of them to be from the 2019 season, whether it's the buzzer beater against the Phoenix Suns, whether it's the floater, whether it's the Game 1 performance, whatever the case may be. Let me know in the comments below your fondest Pascal Siakam memory. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below. So follow up there if you've not done so already. And I will talk to you guys. I'll be your Leafs edition tomorrow. God, 9 o'clock puck drop, Leafs, Flames. They need to win. And honestly, I've gotten to a point where I'm down for Craig Berube. Bring him in. But not yet, I guess. Not my choice would have been yesterday. But it is what it is. And as for the Raptors, they're back in action tonight against the Miami Heat. No Pascal Siakam. You're obviously not going to have Bruce Brown or Jordan Nwora in this game tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to see a lot more Scotty, a lot more Quickly, a lot more RJ getting the ball. We'll see how it goes. All right. So thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and Pascal Siakam's career as a Toronto Raptor. We'll talk to you guys then.